Sziasztok! Elérkeztünk a Kérdezz, felelek programunkhoz, mégpedig a német sztárvendégünkkel, Maul cosplay-el Németországból. Nagy-nagy tapsot kérünk szépen neki.
Is my mic? Ah, my mic is working. Perfect. All right.
Okay.
I brought a big water bottle of water. Do you know that English accent? Bottle of water. So just in case.
First, we are asking how many of them are speaking English. Ki az, aki fordítás nélkül angolul is tudja? Kezeket fel, aki tud rendesen angolul.
Who understands English? Not speaking, just understands English. Hands up. All of them. Hands up, hands up. It's 65%, I would say. 65%.
Okay. Should we do it with translation or without?
So is it okay? So you understand me, what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? All right? Okay. So, my suggestion is, if you have questions and if you don't speak English, my beautiful assistant, Judith, will translate. And if you understand English from your question, we stick to English, all right? Is it good? Okay, so let's do it. So should we just start and ask the audience for some stuff? Or do you have questions to me?
First of all, you were here last year, not at Fantasy Expo, but at Budapest Comic Con, and you are here again. So, how does it feel like being here in Hungary again?
Oh, I loved it last time a lot, and I was really looking forward to come back. And just for your information, there was another convention in Saudi Arabia. They asked me to go there, and I said, no, I go to Budapest. I have to go there. So I was looking forward to it. I said, no, I don't have time for you. I have time for the Hungarians.
So a big applause, because he's here for you and cancelled another convention just to be here. Just
of
for
course.
You.
And next time when I'm here, I come a day earlier and check out the city.
All the stuff, yes.
Because I haven't seen too much. But last year, I had 6 hours, so I could walk around for 6 hours.
Only for 6 hours, yes.
Yeah, that's not enough for Budapest, I guess. Yeah.
So let's start. Do you have any questions? Because we want to start with your questions. Come.
Oh, we already have a question. Perfect. I take a zip.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Fordítasz nekem, Judit, mert azért annyira nem vagyok jó angol.
Yeah, we need more power on the mic.
Pump up the volume. Thank you.
A little bit better. A little bit better.
Better?
Now I can hear you.
Hallasz?
Yeah.
Kiabálok. Fordíts, Judit. Te egy stuntman vagy, ugye egy kaszkadőr, akit láttam, hogy leugrál a háztetőről, meg állandóan össze-vissza töri magát a skateparkban.
So you are a stuntman. You are a stuntman,
yeah.
And he knows you are jumping down of
from the
rooftop. Top of, rooftops and buildings.
From time to time, yeah.
Yes.
És szerepeltél valami produkcióban, amiben láthatunk, nagy filmben, vagy bármi?
So did you take part in any of movies or films, or so is there anything where we can see you doing all this stuff?
The thing is, most of the stuff I did was for German movies and TV shows. There was a movie with Ben Kingsley, I guess. I don't remember the name, and one movie with Mads Mikkelsen. We shot it in Croatia, but I don't remember what that movie was. So basically not international stuff, more the German stuff. But we had the TV show Alarm für Cobra 11. It's a lot of car driving stuff. I did that a lot. But if you want to see me in action, you can check out, I guess you have seen our movies, right? So our Star Wars movie and the Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yeah, that's the stuff I love. I mean, I'm not working as a stuntman anymore for movies and television, but I do stunt stuff for my cosplay job. So, as I said, for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example, we did the live action trailer for Assassin's Creed. So, yeah, not not for movies anymore. I'm too old for that. So, so when I can play the good guy, when I'm the hero in my stuff I do, then I do it. But just a fall guy in the background, these times are over.
A te videóid viszont zseniálisak, úgyhogy nagyon köszönjük, és még sok ilyet szeretnénk látni.
He would like to see more of your stuff because they are genuine.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're thinking about a new Star Wars movie. So maybe there will be a new one. I already have the story, I already have the character.
I have a Mandalorian armor, if you need.
You have what?
Yeah, professional.
Okay, okay. Coming back to you later then.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you.
Next question. Please come.
Did you see that? I want to say something and I spoke to the bottle.
You can talk to the water bottle. It's fine.
Okay, what's the question?
I really like your content, what you make on Instagram and many platforms I can see. I wanted to ask about the videos with special effects. You have so many with explosions or when you blow up the TV and everything, when you were Superman, when you were Batman. And I really like that because it was so natural, so real life. And I wanted to ask you how many time it took and what's the idea before because of that. But you know, you invite over the friends to, I have an idea for a new video, come over on this weekend.
So the question is, exactly what?
So because you have so many pictures and movies, it's special effects and so many cool stuff, and this stuff is really difficult to do alone, for example. So how do you do that? How do you put together a video like this?
So how I put it together, how I come up with stuff, or
How do you blow up the TV?
Yeah, how do you destroy the stuff and?
yeah. So the good thing is, I have many friends who always want to do stuff, and they are always in. When I ask them, they say yes, let's do it. Usually when it's a job and I get money for it, then they get money for it as well. But when it's just my idea, sometimes they just want to do it as well, they work for free. So many of my friends are professionals from the business. For example, one of my best friends in life, his name is Vidan. He's an action director and he's a member of the Jackie Chan stunt team. And he's also an action director in Hollywood. He did Dune 1, Dune 2, Shang-Chi. He's pretty big in business. But I met him when he was just a nobody from Germany. And he said someday he wanted to be an action director in Hollywood. And I said, yeah, we will see. But now he is an action director in Hollywood. Wow. And every time I ask him, he says, yeah, let's do it. So I'm pretty lucky. So I can just call people and they say, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, and when it comes to explosions, I have a friend who's a pyrotechnician, and he can do pretty good explosions, and I trust him. He's really good in seeing the danger. For example, one time I was standing on top of a roof of a car, and the car was crashing into another car, and then both cars exploded, and of course he was sitting at the button, and he was checking if everything is all right. Then he saw that something went wrong and he pushed the button later. So you really have to trust the people because something was wrong with the hood of the car. When it exploded, he saw that I was in a not correct angle and he reacted to it. And you really need people in the stunt business to really trust because if they screw up, maybe you're dead. And I have good friends who work in this field, and that's the most important thing in stunt work, to trust your guys.
These videos are so short, 20 seconds or something. How many time it takes to product it? So,
do you have a specific thing in mind?
Yes, when you have the controller as Superman and you were angry with it and everything.
Yeah, just the funny stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, give me a second, I have to put my gun here. So. let me take my gun out of my pants. So, yeah, the funny stuff. I think with a remote control, we did it 5 times. Because when it didn't work, we could glue it back together. So this was fine. But with the bottle, we had crash glass bottles for the people who don't know. We had 10 bottles. But I think the shot we used was the first one. Yeah. Because there was water in it, and when I broke the bottle, I was wet. So the other takes didn't look as good. And sometimes it's about the reaction. And when you do the first time something, your reaction is more realistic. Because after the 5th time, you know what to do, and maybe it doesn't look so realistic anymore. So, yeah, when something breaks, we always try to keep it as low as possible. And when something explodes, sometimes you can do it only once, because after that it's gone. When we did the explosion for Saints Row, we have a bomb. I put it on the car. I walk towards the camera, do some Michael Jackson moves. I don't know if you have seen that.
Yes.
And then I press the remote and everything explodes in the background. I think there were 5 cars exploding.
Wow.
And so one take, because 5 cars are already expensive to blow up.
Yes, of course.
There were junk cars, of course, that
Yes.
couldn't drive anymore, but still 5 cars, a lot of gasoline and explosives.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it's funny stuff, sometimes you need 30 takes.
Wow.
Yeah, that happens.
So much work. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Okay, next question. Please.
It's all about stunt stuff here, but I like to talk about stunt
Or
stuff.
if you have questions, you can just line up so that we see who wants to ask something.
Hello.
Hi.
So, which is your favorite part of making a costume? For example, making the pattern, or the small details, or the big ones?
So my expertise is armor and weapons. So I really love working with resin or silicone. I think it's fascinating to work with a liquid and later it's solid. it's a miracle. It's amazing. I really love that. But the best part, I think all cosplayers agree, is almost at the end when everything comes together. You were working on so many details. You always saw a tiny thing and another tiny thing. The last day you put everything together and you stand in front of the mirror for the first time. And it's like it looks cool, yeah. Because in the weeks before you couldn't see it because you had this tiny thing or another tiny thing, and you couldn't imagine how cool it will look. But yeah, when it comes together, maybe at convention day for the first time, then you're proud and like, yeah, I did a nice job. And the good thing about cosplaying in general is every time you make a new cosplay, you are better than before. So it's always a nice surprise, right? Yeah. See, that's the part I love the most. But when it comes to the whole thing I do, the part I love the most is being at conventions, talk to you guys, to my followers, because that's always super nice. Because everybody's so nice.
And other question, what is your favorite working with EVA foam, or the sewing, or painting? What is your other favorite?
Yeah, as I said, working with resin or silicone, that's my favorite part. Having a nice silicone mold and pouring some liquid resin in it, and do my thing,
Okay.
and 10 minutes later, and then you have a solid final piece. I love that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, I saw you yesterday on stage. She already has a top model attitude.
Yes, that's right.
She was on stage like,
Which was your favorite costume?
good question. Let me think. It depends. So you understand everything? Your English seems perfect, I guess, yeah? You understand?
I can
Okay.
help. I
Okay.
can help.
It depends on the situation. When it comes to wearing a costume, or For conventions, it's Geralt, the Witcher, of course.
Tehát, hogyha rendezvényekre megy, akkor Geralt, mert ez mindig attól függ, hogy hol van, illetve a szituációtól függ.
Because everybody loves Geralt, Geralt looks cool, and yeah, people are always happy to see Geralt. That's the reason for conventions.
Tehát ugye szereti Geraltot, mint karaktert, és jól is néz ki, tehát így rendezvényekre ez egy tökéletes választás.
My favorite characters I cosplay are my favorite gaming characters. That's Arthur Morgan and Joel from The Last of Us.
Tehát a kedvenc karakterei, akiket a legjobban szeret cosplayezni. Who was the two characters? Which two characters was it?
Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption and Joel from The Last of Us are my favorite characters.
Joel, yes.
Yeah. So, and of course, everybody agrees. We always love to wear the costumes of the characters we love the most. If you can become your favorite character, that's always pretty rewarding.
Igen, tehát ugye neki is azt tetszik a legjobban, ha általa a legjobban kedvelt vagy kedvenc karakterének öltözhet be.
And the final thing, when it comes to my personal perfect illusion, then I love wearing Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, because he's wearing a mask, and when I look in the mirror as Scorpion, I don't see my face, and so I convince myself that this is Scorpion. So when I look in the mirror as Scorpion, it's like, yeah, I really am Scorpion. That's pretty rewarding for me.
Igen, tehát hogyha arról beszélünk, hogy ugye az illúzióról, hogy ha tükörben ez egy Scorpion karaktere a Mortal Kombatből, az a karakter, amit ha felveszi a maszkot és a tükörben néz, akkor azt mondja, hogy igen, Scorpion néz vissza rá, tehát nem saját magát látja, hanem tényleg a karaktert látja.
And fun fact about Scorpion, I had a microphone in my mask because I couldn't talk to people with a mask. And I had a very loud speaker connected to the microphone. And the only spot where I could put the speaker was around here. He has I don't know how to call it, a piece of fabric, and I hit the speaker behind the fabric. It's pretty cool because I always can say very loud, it's a very loud speaker, I always can say, "Get over here!" So that's super funny. But on stage, I had a Q&A, a Scorpion on stage. And of course, this microphone here doesn't work with my mask, so I was standing like this on stage. So yeah, fun fact, but that was not your question. Are you happy with the answer?
Yes.
Very good, very good. Keep going with your modeling stuff that looked amazing yesterday on stage. Your elvish attitude, very good. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes, she was always looking like was Galadriel, Galadriel into the distance.
Yes.
If you want to look epic, you always have to look into the distance, somewhere else. People are looking at you, but you have to look into the distance, like there or over there. Never into the crowd. Okay. Hello.
Hello again.
It's you again.
Yeah.
Same hair color.
Yeah. I like white hair.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So what's your question?
My question is that what kind of working process is that you hate the most? Maybe sewing or EVA foam or I don't know what kind.
Yeah, so definitely.
Maybe there is or not. It's okay.
Okay, there are two things I really don't like working with. It's fabric. I can't sew. I mean, sometimes I sew. I made the shirt from Arthur Morgan. Maybe Joel's? No, not completely. Yeah, I think the only piece I ever sewed completely was the shirt of Arthur Morgan. I hate it. It's not my thing, even though I have the general understanding of how it works. But I don't like working with it. And what I really don't like, but it's outdated, kinda outdated, is still Warbler. I don't like that stuff. So it's, yeah, I wouldn't say. Sometimes stuff happens and you don't know why. It's like, what did go wrong? I don't understand, so, and I don't hate that. But it also happens with resin all the time. But with resin, usually it's funny.
It's forgettable.
And it's funny. With resin, some stuff happens. I can't really explain. Sometimes you have a transparent resin, and you pour it, and later it's white. So, and you don't know where the color comes from, for example, or so. But it's funny. So, okay, white, funny. I've never seen that before, so it's similar, but I still like resin. So it's fabric and warbler. I don't like that.
And just a second question.
Yeah.
What was the most difficult project that you did? Not cosplay, or just a project, or maybe with cosplay.
So the two most difficult cosplays were Kratos from God of War and Zane from Borderlands. Kratos God of War, I needed a whole muscle suit because my approach is always to look as close to the character as possible. And as Kratos, you need your arms to be bigger than your head. Yeah?
Agreed.
I work out a lot, but when I wear the Kratos outfit without the muscle suit, it doesn't look like Kratos. It looks like me in a Kratos costume, but it doesn't look like Kratos. So I made a whole silicone muscle suit.
It's hard to look like Kratos.
Yeah, he's a god, right? So I made the muscle suit with veins and nipples, so it has everything. It was a lot of work, and it was expensive. The silicone alone was 2,000 euro just for the suit. And then we need the silicone for the mold, so it was a lot of work. And Zane from Borderlands had so many LEDs and so much stuff, pieces, gloves made of silicone, forearm gauntlets made of silicone, I think parts of the legs, different types of resin, and so many LEDs, and the whole wire electrical system through the whole body. It was hell. So Zane was really bad. And the most complex project was our cyberpunk movie. So it was 40 minutes of pure John Wick Matrix action with my friend Vidan as a director. 300 people were working on that movie, all for free, just for fun. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, so many VFX scenes, so many stunt scenes. It was a whole year of big hustle. But we're really proud of that project. So if you have time, go to YouTube. T7 Pro is the channel. T7, the number, Pro. That's the channel of my friend Vidan, and they are all our projects are on that channel. So it's a really cool thing.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
First
How are you?
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I am an aspiring cosplay photographer, so
Okay.
I would like to ask if what do you value in a photographer? Like their approaching creativity, maybe the atmosphere in the shoots, or you just have some people you like and you
Yeah.
shoot with them?
Good light, yeah, or a feeling for lighting a scene. Of course, when you're outside, you only have available light, but when you're inside, you need several lighting setups. So you have to have a feeling for that. And the second thing is the composition of the picture itself. So where things are. When you shoot outside, you need something in the background. You need the character maybe in the middle and something in the foreground to make it more interesting. Maybe the character needs to stand out in the middle of the picture. You have a mountain here, you have a mountain here, maybe no mountain directly behind you, so that the head is surrounded by the sky. That always looks good. So you need to have a feeling for that, where things are in the picture. Yeah, but I think you have to be born with this. It's hard to learn that. But those are two things: good light and good composition of the scene. So maybe you're good at it.
Hopefully I am.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about it later.
May I ask another question?
Yeah, depends on what you want to know.
How do you pick your photographer? Like, do you have a guy who does sci-fi, someone who does fantasy, or you just have a group of
No,
people you know?
I have one photographer. So, but I don't have a problem to work with different photographers, but of course we are working together for many, many years now, and he knows exactly what I want. And it's not only about what I want, we're working together. And it's about communication, how it works, and we work perfectly together. But when I travel to, for example, when we did the Red Dead Redemption photo shoot in the US, or Joel in Wyoming was the US as well, or Aquaman in Iceland, then my wife is coming with me, and she's a good photographer as well. So I have the both of them, and it works quite well. But when I'm at a convention, I work with everybody. So if people want to take pictures, no problem.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello.
My question is, how do you prepare yourself for a role, mentally or physically, or the acting, mimicking, or poses?
Okay, the question is how I prepare for a character.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a funny question, because I don't do that. So it's a little bit disappointing, but for some reason it always works out. Have you seen our Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Somebody else have seen our Star Wars Darth Maul movie? Okay, so many people ask me, how do you prepare for that role?
Yeah.
Did you study Ray Park, the actor from Darth Maul, or did you watch the movie 1,000 times? And I said, I didn't at all. So I watched the movie once or twice, that's it. But I mean, usually I play the hero guy.
Yeah.
In this case, it's a bad guy, but it's the main character of the movie. And he's a badass, and badasses are pretty similar. So usually it comes naturally. When you are a stuntman or a martial artist, you know how to move, depending on the weapon you have. And as a badass like Darth Maul, there's, for example, the scene when I fight the berserker guy with the mask, and we hit the swords to each other, and it's like, okay, he's as strong as me. So I just think about the scene, and on set I said, okay, let's do this. Like, I got hit, and then like I'm looking at the guy like, okay. So it's just natural. You are badass, but you are a fighter. You know that you can beat him, so you can do this like, okay, next round. So it's just natural. And I said, depending on the weapon, but
This is a habit. So this is a habit. Often act this role, and this is you can travel the second role. Or sorry.
take your time. So did you understand the question?
Mondhatod magyarul is, igen.
Szóval az a kérdésem, hogy van egy, hogy mondjam, színjátszási formája, amit az egyik szerepből átvisz a másikba, csak átformálja esetleg. Ez egy kicsit furán van megfogalmazva, hogy van egy szokása, mondjuk egy híró, mármint hogy egy hős karakternél, amit át tud a másik szerepre is vinni. Ez lenne a kérdés.
So I will try to formulate the question. So you have, yes, we are talking to the battle now. We are talking to the battle. You are talking to the battle.
Yeah, so what's the question?
So you have a style, so an acting style. You know how you do a badass guy, and you can bring this style into another character, or you have some unique style that you can transfer. So you have multiple. Do you have multiple styles, or you have your own style, and you bring that into different roles or the next role? It's a bit a difficult question.
Yeah, so basically it's my own style, so I don't think about it too much. When we did the Cyberpunk movie, there were several scenes where I played Johnny Silverhand, and he's played by Keanu Reeves. So in this case, I looked a little bit at Keanu Reeves, how he acts, and he does a lot of talking with his hands. He's like, when he talks.
Yeah.
So I did that. But usually it's just natural. I was the hero of that movie. I'm the bad guy. I'm the John Wick, Neo, Matrix person. So it's basically it's a fighting style, a fighting stance. And as I said, depending on the weapon, when you have a gun, and you are a tactical fighter. So you know how to use this. Then you walk like this. When you're just a street kid, it's like this or like this. So you have to think about the intention. When you have a katana, you know how to hold this, and this is different to a long sword or a 1.5-hander that Geralt uses. It's all depending on the weapon and on the situation, because usually all of our heroes from video games are fighters.
Yeah.
And then you have to think about what's going on in this moment, and the rest comes from its own. So it's, I don't have a good answer, but that's how I do it.
I like your cyberpunk cosplay.
Thank you. This one?
Yeah.
Thank you very
I
much.
like
Okay. Thank you very much. Next year I'll make a new one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's you again. Hi.
Hi. How did you do the weapons?
This weapon? Or so basically,
Any.
this is, as I said, I love resin. This is resin. It's casted. It was a silicon mold. We had a master. The master was 3D printed, and he has several parts casted in resin. Usually all of my weapons are resin.
Tehát műgyantából készült, ugye ki van öntve, és a legtöbb fegyverét műgyantából készít. Egyébként, ugye, ahogy mondta is előtte, hogy a műgyant az egyik kedvenc alapanyaga.
Correct. Yeah.
Aha.
Ja, stimmt. Stimmel.
Tanítjuk, we are teaching him Hungarian, we are not that far yet. Egy sör, két sör, ein Bier, zwei Bier, egy sör, két sör.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so basically all of my weapons are resin. Sometimes it's a stunt weapon, or you need it for, to be resilient. Then I use different resins. There are flexible resins. I wouldn't drop this one now. Maybe it will break, but I can also make one in rubber, so it bounces. So that's a good thing about silicon molds and resin. If you have the mold, you can cast it in a different material, and then you have a rubber gun. Pretty handy. But for example, the Kratos axe, the big one, the head, of course, was resin, but the handle was wood. If a handle is made of wood, I make it out of wood. So that's the easiest way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more questions? If you don't ask, I have questions. But let's see. Any more questions?
You don't have to, but so we're done with questions?
I have questions.
Okay, there's another question. Let's go.
Thanks. So I would like just to ask that, like, how did you transition to be like a full-time cosplayer, and how did you manage like the finances to make it your livelihood out of, I guess you wasn't born as a cosplayer?
Yeah. So the transition was easy because it happened very quickly. So the thing is, it's a long story. Give me 5 minutes for the story.
Okay.
When I met my wife in 2010, 2011, she was a cosplayer as well, and we went to several conventions just for fun. And then we went to Gamescom. Do you know Gamescom in Germany?
Yeah.
Biggest gaming event in the world, and it's the best. It really is. It's amazing. So you should go there. So we went there in our Star Wars outfits, and that was at a time where cosplayers at Gamescom weren't normal. So we went there in our Star Wars outfits, and there were the EA guys promoting Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars game. And they hired us immediately for a job, for a stunt show fight in Finland. And then we found out that, okay, maybe there's a demand, maybe the computer brands need cosplayers. So we wanted to work in the industry. And we founded a company, the DEFCON Unlimited company. And we tried to make it work. And it worked in the first year. We made money. But there was no Maul cosplay yet. That happened when we posted a Witcher makeup test on my social media. No, give me a second. I worked for Konami for Metal Gear Solid because I knew somebody from Konami. And after we did that, I created my own social media account. So there was more cosplay. And then a few months later, we posted Geralt makeup test. And then CD Projekt themselves asked me immediately to work for them. Since then, I'm working for them as their Witcher or for Cyberpunk or for any other project where they need props or Geralt. So it happened very quickly. And from this moment on, from 2016, I was working in the industry full time and it always worked. So there was no real transition.
Yep.
Because I was already working in the business, but not as a cosplayer, more as the company before. Yeah, that's how it worked. But to be super honest with you, in my case, it worked so good because I got super famous, super fast. When the first Witcher pictures went online, I think I had 60,000 more followers on Facebook in 3 days. And 1 month later, 100,000. So it was very fast.
Yep.
And once you are well known, it's easy to get the next job. So, of course, my big advantage is I have a big social media following. And for the companies, it's always important to get the reach, to get the clicks.
Yeah.
So they ask well-known people. Of course, there are some skills involved. I have some skills. They can rely on what I do, but there's also the reach.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
You're very welcome. Hello. You good?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I would like to circle back to your costumes and creating costumes.
Sure.
Like you mentioned working with LED lights. I was wondering if you, like, how much time
I'm pretty sure the answer is I don't know.
How much time did it take you to learn like different skills, for example, working with the electronics or working with resin and stuff?
So I don't know anything about LEDs except for the currency you need and I don't know what the English word for that. Widerstand?
Ellenállás. I know the Hungarian word, but I don't. Resistance. It's resistance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got
it's
it.
resistance.
Okay,
Yes, that's right.
so that's the only thing I need. I know. I don't know anything else. Maybe use some switch or stuff. So, but that's it. I know how to put light on a costume. Like in this case, that's a 12-volt system. So I need 12-volt LEDs, some resistance thingies, batteries. That's all I need to know. I don't know more. So, but resin is another thing. I am doing that for many years now. You have different types of resin, and you need to know how it reacts, what temperature you need sometimes, humidity, and how to work with it. Some resins don't work with a specific type of silicon. It's a lot of knowledge, but usually it's a trial and error. So you do something and that never happened before, and then you try to find out why that happens. Next time you know more. Then you know, okay, I shouldn't do it like this. And sometimes it's by accident. For example, sometimes, for some reason, hard to explain, you need to glue silicon together. And once silicon is cured completely, you can't glue it together. Usually you can add a layer of silicon, 10 minutes later, another layer of silicon. Then they merge together. But if you wait 24 hours and you put another layer on it, you can pull it apart, no problem. Sometimes, but if you are still within 24 hours, you can do it. And sometimes you have two pieces and you have to hold them together, put a little bit of liquid silicone between the pieces, hold them together for an hour. You just wait for an hour. So, okay. But then by accident, because it was winter and I had a heater next to me, I found out that with hot temperature, it cures much, much faster. So now I know, I put some silicone on it, put the piece together and hold it in front of a heater for 1 minute, and then we're good. And so that's by accident. I didn't know that, and I didn't read that anywhere, but now I know. And sometimes you find out things nobody knew before. Yeah, but basically you can look for tutorials or some information online, but usually you learn it while you're doing it. You can try to prevent some mistakes, but you can go only so far. Maybe 20% of the mistakes you can avoid by reading about it, but all the rest you have to do it yourself. Find out yourself. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, no problem.
Do we have more questions? Because I have one.
You have one.
So, there are
Same
things...
problem.
Yes. You have, for example, a Batman costume, right?
Say again?
A Batman costume. You have a Batman cosplay.
Yeah.
And I heard that you refused to shave your beard. This is one thing that you would never do for a cosplay.
Not never, but they have to pay more.
So how much do we have to pay for you to shave your beard?
Okay, it's a combination. First, they have to pay more, and secondly, the next jobs where I need my beard have to be some month later. So that's a problem.
So to grow it back.
Yeah, exactly. So when I have no job in the next 2 months, it's okay. They have to pay a little more. So do you want to hear a number? I've never thought about it, but it's extra. It's extra. So I did that once because there were 3 jobs in the same 2 weeks, and they all needed no beard. So in this case, it was fine because 3 jobs, and there was enough time afterwards, so I did it. But for Batman, no.
So you did beard a mask, right? Yeah, so it was a mask.
Just a fake silicone mask, so it was it was a single piece, but it looked like my face without beard. But it's not comfortable.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would not do for cosplay? So is there a limit that you would never do? Or
So
everything for cosplay?
When ethically and morally everything is fine, so I don't have a problem with anything. So yeah, I like the fun stuff as well. So if it's funny, I can do anything, no problem.
Questions from
I
you?
wouldn't. I think I got asked for one thing. There was a Nazi playing a Nazi thing, so I said, nah, maybe not. As a German, but if you're American, you can play a Nazi, but as a German, just for cosplay thing, then don't do that.
Any more questions?
I have big problems with this bottle and the microphone.
I can.
I leave it open and put it here. So
It's my job. That's why I'm
No,
here.
don't-
I am your noble bottle holder.
just don't go there and
No?
kick
Okay.
it, then everything is fine. Hey.
Én szeretnék kérni fordítást. Azt szeretném kérdezni, hogy amikor az Aquamanes fotózáson be kellett mászni derékig a hideg vízbe, hogy az életre szóló jó élmény volt, vagy soha többet kategória?
So when you were Aquaman, and for the photo shoot, you had to go into the water, and that water was cold, right? So he's asking, was that a good experience for life or a bad experience for life? Would you ever do it again, or how was it?
So as long as nothing happens with you, no experience is a bad experience. So it was fun. So we did the Witcher photo shoot in winter in the water. So I was in the water to the waist. I could stay in the water in winter to the waist for 15 minutes, longer than expected. But after 15 minutes, it got immediately way too much. So 15 minutes was fine, posing, yeah, sword, okay, good. And after that, I started shivering so heavily, and it felt dangerous. So I had to get out. And, oh yes, you have to translate, sorry.
Visszafordítsam akkor?
Ezt már nem kell.
Okay. So
You understood?
he can understand it.
Okay, okay. And it was so freezing and so cold, and my skin was so red to here. Everything above was fine, but everything downwards was so red and numb. I couldn't feel it anymore. So it was really hard. But with the Aquaman photo shoot, we went to Iceland, in the north, to a remote village where the Justice League was shot, exactly the same location. We had to go off-road with a off-road car to get to the village, and I had to go into the water. But it was the sea, and it was Iceland. I didn't expect the water to be much colder than the water in Germany in winter, but it was much colder. And I dared to get into the water up to here. So, but not deeper. It was so cold. I could stay in the water even when it's only to the knees. I could stay in the water for 2 minutes, not more. 2 minutes was so much. And then I had to get to the car, turn the heater on and warm up, and then wait 10 minutes, go back into the water. That was hard. That was so much worse than The Witcher for 15 minutes up to here. But yeah, I mean, the pictures look awesome. I love the pictures very much. So that was a cool experience to shoot exactly at the same location where they shot the scene where Bruce Wayne meets Aquaman, Arthur Curry in Iceland. It was exactly the same location. We parked at the same spots. It was cool. Yeah, the shipwreck was there. And yeah, it looks exactly like in the movie. So there's nothing changed. It looks exactly like this. Yeah.
És még egy kérdésem, hogyha lehet, hogy nem láttunk még gyűrűkurás cosplayt, illetve World of Warcraft-es cosplayt, hogy ezt a jövőben számíthatunk-e ilyenre ebben a témában.
So he never saw you done any Lord of the Rings cosplay or World of Warcraft cosplay. So do you plan any Lord of the Rings or World of Warcraft in the future?
I've never played World of Warcraft, so the whole thing is not my style because it's a little bit cartoonish. I did that with Borderlands, but usually my style is realism, so I try to make it look realistic. So Lord of the Rings, I did a stunt show as Aragorn once. I was Aragorn, but it was a cheap costume. It looked okay on the stage, but from close up, terrible. But the stunt show was fun. And yeah, we're still planning on making Thorin, the dwarf.
Oakenshield.
Thorin?
Oakenshield, yeah.
Yeah, Oakenshield, yeah, exactly. Because I think he has a beard, very good. He's tiny, but okay. So, yeah, maybe this one. So, yeah, but Lord of the Rings itself it's very cool. I like it. I have to watch the movies again. Last time 10 years ago. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome.
We have the time for one last question because we
Then
have
we
4
to
minutes
leave.
left.
4 minutes, okay. It's a yes or no question. Yeah. Take your time.
Sorry. So just a fun fact question or something like that. Which is your favorite weapon? I mean, you can say, yeah, this is my weapon, this is me. So are you a sword guy or a pistol guy or a shotgun guy? This one I can use in every day. Oh, not use, just yeah. So this is me. This is my personal weapon. Which one is that?
I'm a sword fighter. So that's my special stunt skill, sword fighting. So basically, it's a sword.
What kind of sword?
I would say katana, but also Chinese Jian sword or the broadsword. Both pretty cool. Broad is a different style, but I can do it. It's a little bit kung fu flow. I can do it. Jian is very feminine, Jian style. So, but I think katana is like Yeah, I think that's my thing. So, but basically that's my style, how I fight. It's a little bit harder, but I also can do the flowing kung fu stuff. Yeah, but I think I'm pretty good with the staff, with the bow staff. But I didn't do that for a long time. For the Darth Maul movie, that's kind of bow fighting. But yeah, it's more a sword. I like guns. For movies, in real life, not so much, but for movies it's cool to shoot guns. But yeah, a sword is the thing.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So now we're done. We still have 2 minutes.
Yeah, but
For
I
now.
would like to say, so we have a last meet and greet today at 16 órakor. So the people here who still want to meet you or couldn't meet you yesterday or today morning, you can still do that. Like after we are done here, we have a 10-minute break and we will go over there. So, yeah.
You are absolutely right. Yeah. So I have my meet and greet. Where is it? Where's the meet and greet area? Over there.
Yes.
In a few minutes. So if you want to talk a little again, so let's do it. I'm there. I'm there for you for the rest of the day. Everything you want.
Tapsot kérek szépen neki.
Thank you very much, guys. You're awesome. Hope to be back very soon.